Welcome back, everybody. My name is Emily Gear. I am a transformative energy healer and a multidimensional channel, and I'm back with your messages for the coming week. Today is Friday, March 27th, and even so, whenever you come across this video, then I intend that it's timely for you, so it does not have to match the date. In any case, these messages are for the week ahead, whatever week that is. And I do apologize. I wanted to come back and do a reading for the new moon. We just had a new moon in Aries on the 24th of March, and I did not make it back for that. So, some of those messages may be included in this. Before I flip over to the video camera, I just wanted to bring your attention, as usual, to my website, which is where you will schedule any kind of any readings, any healing sessions that you might like. I am available through the end of and the beginning of April, and after that I will be offline for a while, simply because I'm taking some classes in the day and working at night. So working my full-time job at night. So this might not be something that I can do through those weeks. In any case, that is the website. I'm also thinking of offering, actually, you guys can tell me if you're interested in this. Please let me know in the comments. I was going to offer a reduced rate reading, probably similar to the one that I do for the beginning of the year, just because so many people seem to be going through so much confusion and just uncertainty right now. So if that's something you might be interested in, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to go through the process of putting it together and promoting it and all that if nobody's really interested. So do let me know in the comments if you would be interested in something like that. It will probably be the 17 card pre-recorded reading for $30 is usually what I do, and those readings are usually 15 to 20 and often 30 minutes long, so it just sort of depends on how long the messages come, but they are definitely no shorter than 15, usually at least 20 and often more. Anyway, now that I've talked way too long about that, we're going to get into the reading. I pulled out an old deck of cards, the Spalia Tarot, today, which I love because I'm getting really bored of my card decks. In any case, let's just ask Source for whatever messages want to come through for the week ahead for the collective. Ace of Wands with, okay, I knew these shits were going to come out. This deck comes with a card for every sign, every zodiac sign. And so the Virgo card just came out. Ace of Wands with Virgo. I actually feel like this is the start of new habits. This is the start of positive new habits even. Also pulled out this little, this deck is meant for kids. It's called Magical Unicorns, but sometimes I like the messages that come out, so I'm just going to add one of these as well. Okay. Best friends. I saw this card so many times when I was shuffling these initials. True friends stick together no matter what. So with the Ace of Wands, the Virgo card, and the Best Friends card, my initial feeling was really something like becoming best friends with yourself. And I know I'm always driving things back to the self, but what else is there really for us to grab onto? Because everything is experienced via the self. So in that sense, there really is nothing else. Everything else is through that lens, okay? And I feel like this sense of creating healthy habits, creating or just creating a new beginning in general, like deciding what in this new paradigm that we have set up for ourselves, what we are keeping and what we are not going to keep in our lives, right? So essentially it's what our day-to-day life, this Virgo card gives me the strong feeling of the day-to-day life, okay? What our day-to-day lives look like now, and in what way can we make sure that we're honoring who we are through that, and taking this opportunity to go ahead and pluck the rotten fruit off the tree, kind of prune the branches back. And this is not necessarily, I'm not really getting the feeling of like different people in our lives. Sometimes we do go through cycles of like sort of purging the negative individuals out of our lives, although that could be the case. But I'm really feeling right now, like, what habits are we in that are not serving us? What's our terrible eating habits? What are our, either destructive or not inadequate exercise habits? What are our health habits that are harming us? Which ones are helping us and we could increase? You know what I mean? It's really kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like evaluation or deciphering. It's a review of all of those habits, but it's new. This is an opportunity to really restart. I get the feeling that you might have, if you've tried to do this before, maybe it felt difficult, but it's almost like because of all the change, because of all the upheaval, it's like the sense of what's one more thing. I really feel like you are supported right now in the energy of beginning to make the healthy changes that each one of us needs to make in our life, whatever that boils down to be for you specifically. I also, just looking at this card, get the impression of snuggling up closer to that sort of source energy feeling. For me, it's not about getting on your knees and praying or anything that's really religious or organized. For me, it's actually that feeling of connecting through the crown chakra all the way up to the highest point. To me, that's what source energy is. And that, for me, brings in a deep unconditional love of self, of everything around me. Basically, everything around me transforms when I'm connecting to that. So whatever that is to you, for you, I do feel this sense of really connecting to, I'm hearing connecting to the magical. To me, that's magical. To me, that's the energy that makes instant manifestation possible. And to me, that is called connecting to source. To you, it might be something completely different, but it's 100%. I want to say it does not encroach upon anyone else's will, right? I don't know why they wanted to bring that up. I guess to decipher between connecting to source and what some people think magical means, okay? So there's no encroaching on anyone else's will. This is simply you connecting to another part of you, which is also part of source, because all is one, okay? And that becoming a new habit. I really feel like there's a great uplifting happening for most people. A lot of people are getting dragged down into fear, doubt, worry, anger, anxiety, these sort of petty differences, like on the political scene. That's only going to get worse for a while. But your ability to connect to this higher frequency vibration is affecting those people because we are all intimately connected. Not one of us is actually separate. I know I'm always repeating that message, but I want to remind you again, I don't know why this best friends card has given me all this stuff that doesn't even talk about best friends, but I get the feeling that like it's it's highlighting the way that we are all interconnected. And I've had some people come to me. Actually, my best friend came to me the other day saying that she felt so anxious because she felt like she could not help people who were suffering right now. She didn't, she's not a healthcare worker. Like, what is she supposed to do? What she's supposed to do, stay home and do her job at home, right? And all I could say was what you can do to help is maintain the highest vibration possible, i.e., disconnect from the worry, because there's nothing that you can actually do that you're imagining right now. The thing that you can do is hold the highest vibration to support everyone else. And so that is still coming through. And what they're saying now is like bringing that same energy, right? That's a very energetic thing. Bringing that same energy into your physical world and affecting your physical body, raising your vibration through better habits, through better eating, through exercise, through breath work, through yoga, through healthier habits, even if that habit is just detaching from your worries, you are going to be part of raising that vibration, helping to support those who are doing the work right now, right? Those who are physically in the line of fire, so to speak, or those who are ill, others who are afraid, who are not as in touch with themselves and currently unable to separate themselves from this sort of mental cycle. They will be able to, they will learn to. This is part of their process, their cycle. But your supportive role is really important, and your care of yourself is also important in being able to be that for them, because so often we will put ourselves aside like a sacrifice. This person is like, she looks like a nun to me, like a Catholic nun. And they are all about sacrifice and service, which is not a bad thing. But this is reminding you that you are also part of that. You are also part, deserving of your own love, of your own service, of your own attention, of your own time. And it all comes under the Ace of Wands, which is the first card that came out, which tells me this is an explosive new period for you, something that is extremely potent, and the potentiality of it is great. It's like an exploding bomb in your life, but not in a negative way. It's more in the way that you can, it's going to create profound change for you. Chariot, profound change right now. Okay, those of you who are on a sacred union path, this is also part of your alignment process. And so if you have been so focused on the other person, you're going to have to bring it back to yourself again. I've been saying that for months, but I'm going to say it again because I do get that. Here's the black and the white swans. Actually, the chariots come out almost every week for the last 3 weeks too. Not almost every week. I'm pretty sure every week for the last 3 weeks. Definitely part of the process. They're saying right now, this is part of the process. You will have to let go on some level of that person, not let them go like this is not happening, whatever, but let them go on the mental plane so that you're giving your best possible energy to this sort of, because that is all part of clearing out what doesn't belong to you. The mental attachment is negative. It's draining you. It drains your energy. It takes away this potency. It takes away your ability to move forward, your push forward, your drive. It takes that away when you're that mentally wrapped up in it. Okay, 2 of coins with the 4 of swords. Again, this to me feels like taking that step back and getting balanced. And picking and choosing what things are to stay and what things are to go. I also want to tell you that we really need to look at life. So there are some serious things going on, and watching the media, we were told, take this seriously, and we should. Okay, that we should take this seriously. But within the context of taking the global situation that we cannot, that we are in right now seriously, we need to lighten up. We need to realize that we're not slaves to anything. Love heals fear. Love heals fear. We're not slaves to anything, including pandemics or the fear or negative energy of others, the infighting of others, the racism of others, anything. We're not slaves to that. We absolutely have the power to rise above that in our own minds. And believe it or not, being confined to your own space right now is going to support you in doing that. That is harder to do that because right now you're in kind of your own reflective echo chamber. So you are forced to deal with your own thoughts. And in other cases, it's easy to push them to the back because then you've got more stimuli that are taking your attention away. Right now, you are forced to deal with whatever issues are coming up. And this can feel very serious. But my challenge to you is to be more lighthearted about it. Bring more lighthearted energy into it. whether it's joy, gratitude, those came out first, so those are probably the most important and the most helpful. Laughter, humor, any of those things help to raise the vibration. It gives you a break from the really intense energy that is truly playing out in our world right now. And what is playing out in our world right now is part of a story that we created collectively, and is what they're saying. I'm not just saying that. All of this is obviously channeled. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, they probably just think I'm preaching. I'm not preaching. I'm just sharing the messages. It is all part of the collective story that we have created collectively. And we can change that story because we have that power. We created it. It's like when your mother's like, I made you, or I gave you life, I can take it away. It's kind of like that. Like, we created the story. Now we have to I don't want to say get out of it, but now we have the power to change how we are going to deal with it. Are we going to confront it with joy and gratitude for what we have, or are we going to confront it with fear and anger and hostility? Which one do you think is going to keep you healthy? Which one do you think is going to keep you safe, to keep your abundance flowing, keep your, your family around you safe, etc., etc., etc.? I don't think I need to give you the answer to that question. Love heals fear. Love heals fear. And so that is the energy that we really need to be carrying for every single person on the planet at this time, whether you know them or not, but especially the ones that you come into contact with, because it's infectious. Literally, oh my God, I just said infectious. It's literally infectious in the way that a virus is infectious. You don't even have to say the words. The energy can pass on. The same way somebody's negative energy can pass on, your positive energy can pass on. So, and you don't have to be in the same place, right? Because we're all supposed to be socially distancing. So you can be walking through the grocery store because obviously you need to eat. You're going to need to get food. Be 10 feet away from somebody and be sharing that positive energy because that person just lost a family member, or that person is terrified because they lost their job, or whatever. It is infectious. And you don't have to think about it or necessarily do anything, but I do typically intend that whatever healing energy is intended to go to anyone that I come into contact with in any way, go to them as quickly as possible so that I am releasing that to them. I do also intend that my own personal energy be protected, that I am a channel for higher dimensional, for divine energy, but not sharing my own energy, if that makes sense. And that's important too, because you don't want to be sharing energies of your own that might be in flux or in need of transformation themselves, okay? What other messages do we have? I'm really getting a strong sense of self-initiative right now. No one's going to tell you to do this stuff. No one's going to make you do this stuff. You do it. You make the choice. You do it. And that may be part of the Aries full moon. That makes a lot of sense. Or full moon. Aries new moon. Oh, air and water together. Remember a couple weeks ago we got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups coming out together? This feels similar. I am hearing slippery slope, that emotion can be a slippery slope, and that we need to stay kind of elevated, air. Mental thinking can also be a slippery slope, and so remaining elevated in the mental plane is also really important. Do not go down the rabbit hole. Many times we think that we should, because it allows us to prepare, right? And yet in that preparation, I'm not saying don't be prepared. Obviously take reasonable precautions, follow the advice of the professionals. But if you are going down that rabbit hole to worst case scenarios constantly, and there's nothing you can do about it, then this is a call to pull yourself back, because all you are doing in those situations is manifesting the worst case scenario. You need to especially pull your emotions out of it, because those emotions really ground the thoughts, okay? The created thought forms. That's important as well. That is about mastery right there, okay? Human beings all do that. It's a level of mastery when we can really pull back on the reins and say, okay, I am master of myself. My fear is not master of me. And they're reminding me of this card here, love heals fear. And so when you do that, there is a critical moment there where you have to say, and I love myself, and I forgive myself for having these thoughts, and I cancel them out of the universe, or whatever you want to say like that. But to get mad at yourself for going there is just going to make it worse. And that's what I think a lot of people do, including myself. So that's why I'm bringing that up. Is that the name of the game right now is, at least as far as I'm seeing it, is all about self-nurturance, and the way that affects, the way that the self-nurturance of the individual affects the entire collective in a really profound way. Let's see what wants to come out of, what am I doing here? We'll take these. Birth. Another gateway appears in view, new life unfolding, which is blessings to you. So, it's not very interesting cards. It's called Divine Dwarves, is what this deck is called. Supports very well this Ace of Wands, this new birth. And like a birth, you come into this world screaming, right? And that's kind of like the energy I'm getting out of this Ace of Wands, is this really potent life force that will not be deterred. And that is what we have to initiate in each one of ourselves in order to really nurture this self-growth at this time. Three of Cups also came out. Not the card, but this, sorry, freaking light. This deck has a card that says Three of Cups. A toast to friendship in the afternoon sun. 3 cups in happiness. 3 cheers are done. Celebration is near. So again, this to me is all about, first of all, best friends card is right here. So there may be something about connecting with family and friends, digitally, of course, but connecting with them anyway and continuing to keep that open, but also that vibration of joy, that vibration of happiness. And also knowing that this is not forever. I mean, things have changed for us forever. Something has changed for us forever. However, your life as it is at the second is not going to be like this forever. There will be a time of celebration. There will be a renewal. Everything in life is that way. It is cyclical. There is an end and there is a renewal. And so we can look forward to that, because that will take place, okay? And keeping yourself in that vibration of joy is going to assist it in moving into your life personally more quickly. And in the extension, moving into the collective more quickly. Okay, well, the card for isolation just came out. Saturn in Virgo. And the card for decision, Mars in Gemini, just came out. Okay, that's weird. I'm actually not getting a negative vibe from this, because I thought I would at first, just looking at the pictures. I'm also, okay, I don't want anybody, I'm getting make this a game. And what I mean by that is make it an intentional game of strategy in order to reach, I keep holding up this Virgo card like it's saying something to you, but in order to reach this goal of renewing your own self-nurturance and getting on the path of your own physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health, I'm getting to make it into a game of strategy, that your isolation at this time, as I already just said, is part of making that possible. That is pushing it forward just like on wings. It's moving you forward with the speed of the chariot. If there are things that you need to decide on in your life, you're deciding on what to let go of, what to sort of pull closer to you, this is helping you do that. For many of you, this is going to be about what is really serving me. For many of you, it could be some of the most difficult decisions you've made in a long time, because everything is on its head right now, and therefore somehow these really difficult changes feel easier because you've already been knocked out of your comfort zone. And I'm actually getting that in terms of, again, if you're on the sacred union path, making those decisions and changes in your life are what is helping to move you forward. It's helping to prepare you, and on some level, because it's raising your vibration. You're getting rid, we may be talking about people, so I hate to say getting rid of baggage, but sometimes people are dead weight. Sometimes people are not, are causing harm to your life. In the most cases, I feel that this is about habits, okay? Your own habitual stuff. Some cases it is individuals and relationships that have been damaging to you or have been done for a long time. Or in other cases, it's jobs. Maybe you lost your job that you were refusing to leave forever, and now you're going to have to figure something else out. This was the kick in the pants. This isolation made the decision for you. And so in that way, it's a gift. And that is how you reframe everything to be positive. And I don't say that laughing like it's not serious, because it is. But again, we have to raise our vibrations at this time. Otherwise, we're not going to make it through. Let me get one more card from, what do I want to do? All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get a Rumi card. I haven't done these in a while. They're kind of long, but it's probably worth it. All right, let's close with a Rumi card for this week, please. Rumi card for the collective for this week. These cards are channeled by Alana Fairchild, as if they are Rumi, and Rumi speaks with the divine. Oh, interesting. I don't know what this is going to say, but I was just saying that some of these changes are a gift. This is the human gift, number 17, which is a special number for me. The human gift. Let me see what it says. All right, this is a poem. This is a Rumi poem. O heart, what is your excuse for all of these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Such kindness is offered by the beloved, yet so much defiance and resistance comes from you. Such grace is offered by the beloved, yet so much fault and failure comes from you. Such attraction is offered by the beloved, with sweetness and generosity, yet such jealousy comes from you. With so much doubt and suspicion. That's by Rumi. And then this is a channeled message from Alana, supposedly from Rumi himself. Do you bemoan your lack of faith? Do you berate yourself, blazing angel, because you have moments where you cannot bring yourself to trust in love more than you trust in your fear? Do you lament and worry that you could or should be living in a greater surrender? And yet when is light more precious than when it arises from darkness? When is trust more admirable than when it involves an uncertain yet bold leap of faith? O human angel, your path is perfection in the divine sense, not in some artificial absence of struggle, but in the wrestling of darkness and light that ignites the fire within your holy heart. So rise up now from your doubts and admonishments, and let your human self be loved. Even for all the doubt, you are still a cherished one of the great beloved, and always shall be. Do you remember what I was just saying about, like, if you catch yourself doing this, don't hate yourself. Always say, don't be upset with yourself. Remind yourself that I love myself and it's okay. And that's what I feel like is being said here. Okay, now there's a lot more written here, so we're going to keep going. Be kind to your heart. You may believe it to be weary from doubt and distrust, so much heartbreak and so many agonies, and yet still it beats. Still it persists with unquestioning allegiance to life. What a grand heart it is, the sacred heart of yours. How can it be worthy of anything other than tenderness, gratitude, acknowledgement, and appreciation? Do not plague your heart with falsehoods and expectations of some disembodied perfection. The perfection of your heart is that it loves still, even if you try to stop it with some notion of self-protection from future hurt through doubt or fear. Still it loves. That's what I was talking about, this preparing. It is perfection that hopes even after despair, that it holds compassion even after experiences of fear. So then what is there left to do but breathe the greatest sigh of relief and allow yourself the essential luxury of peace within? So then everything is all right. Even if at some moments it seems to not be, still your heart beats in honor of life. The heart can be nurtured and coaxed into gentle acceptance of all that is, and the divine sight will become available to you. Yes, sacred sight is what is behind this oracle for you now, beloved. You are meant to be witnessing something important, something that will make the presence of the divine in your affairs more real to you. It will be something you can come to count on at all times, and in that gain greater peace and the realization that, yes, it is safe to trust and surrender. Snuggling up to the divine, making the divine your best friend. Indeed, it is only safe, sane, and sensible way to live. It is only the most fun way to live. And you are allowed to live this way if you so choose. It's not shrinking your duty as a responsible adult. Shirking your duty as a responsible adult. It's not deluding yourself and turning away from the real world. Rather, surrender is placing responsibility where it is best placed, firmly in the hands of that part of you wise enough to know the great beloved is wiser still, and your life unfolds according to the great beloved's grace. So for now, take comfort in this oracle just for a moment. Let your heart be honored and loved by you, and imagine that you can crack open a window in the dustiest chamber of your own heart temple to let the light of the divine stream in. You may see the angel reaching to assist you. You may receive the gift of understanding, insight, and revelation. You may feel peace, or you may finally allow your heart to break once more, to shed those old grievances and be free and fresh to live and love again. Or you may quietly realize that you are human. You are light and dark, of heaven and earth. What a perfect blend you are of all that can possibly be. You are an extraordinary, living, divine experiment in the making, and you are sacred, cherished, and loved by the great beloved. So do not fear your fear, but do doubt your doubt with compassion. Let it be and let it go. You are human after all, and your journey is beyond description. Just remember, if you are ever in need of the great beloved, there is a place where sacred tryst is always available to you, in the temple of your own heart with the window cracked open so that the doubt can fly out and love can breathe freely. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are, soon will be, seeing with greater clarity and insight a situation that has been obscured to you in the past. You may be startled by what you perceive, so much so that you second guess yourself or chalk it up to wild imagination on your part. You are asked to trust in your perceptions that when they come from the heart, although what you perceive may be darkness, there will be no judgment in it. So what is truthfully there? Be in the compassionate nature of your heart, and you shall also be shown the most graceful way to become clear and free of darkness, either within yourself or within others and the world around you. That's a great message to end this today. And I hope it was meaningful for you. all I can say is you guys are doing great. Just keep doing it. Keep moving forward. Keep honoring yourself, nurturing yourself, reminding yourself that you're human and everything is just perfect all the time. Okay? All right. Well, thank you very much. Remember, my website is here. You can go there to schedule a healing session or book an emailed reading or channeling. And until next time, be safe and talk to you soon. Bye.